Hey world, this is Kunal Jethwani, and you are listening to the Agile Podcast, the show that the geek inside you will fall in love with. At Agile, I bring you tech news, explain trending technologies, and complex IT stuff in simple layman terms. I will also reveal product hacks, dive deep into the world of data structure and algorithms in a simple manner. Occasionally, I'll also be reviewing gadgets and products. For all of this exciting content, stay tuned and subscribe to the Agile Podcast. Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing okay and that your job is safe and sound. I mean, health and job and finances. There isn't a lot of optimism around in the tech industry with all the downsizing and layoffs everywhere. Then there is this now long standing depressing outlook about a potential recession this year in 2023. And with the financial quarter just behind us, the financial reports of some companies aren't particularly impressive, while some companies actually perform really well. Yet there is no distinction between them when it comes to firing people. So I'm going to talk about what's happening with some numbers and some opinion and analysis that I have. So let's start. Right. So my news feed is full of it for the past few weeks, and it makes me want to stop scrolling through the news. Now I want to clarify something before starting. Almost all firms have stated that they are doing what they are doing because of their growth outlook this year. There is inflation, and we all know that. Then there is a slowdown, both real and perceived, and then there is a fear of recession. While this is one of the most talked about reasons, there is more to it. Most reporting houses are reporting that the hiring done by these tech giants during the pandemic was so much that they simply can't keep it around for long. Not in these uncertain times. They simply bit more than they could chew. Now, how true is that? We don't know. There's certainly some element of truth to it, but is there really an uncertainty coming up? Or is the project pipeline slowing down for these companies? Or are the companies thinking that they can't grow at the same speed that they would like to? So why not cut people loose? Let's look at some numbers. Google is the latest to lay off 12,000 employees, or around 6% of its workforce. Alphabet Workers Union claims that in the previous financial quarter, Google made $17 billion in profit. Obviously, they find layoffs to be unacceptable. Google said that the company took a rigorous review across product areas to ensure that current roles are aligned with the company's highest priorities. Well, wonder how much profit they would make if all their products turn as efficient and profitable as their most profitable product area. Well, moving on. Last week, Microsoft said it will cut about 10,000 jobs, which is close to 5% of its staff. Surprisingly, and not many know about it, but the night before announcing the layoffs, Microsoft organized a private event in Davos, the venue of the World Economic Forum, which was attended by some of its top executives. Now, some reports state that this private event was a concert where the popular artist Sting was invited to perform. Now, I can't verify the authenticity of this report, but a lot of people who know this are fuming all over Twitter because hiring performers like Sting for private events like these can cost over $500,000 if I go with what Fortune magazine has reported. Interesting. On the other hand, Microsoft said that it is cutting jobs in response to macroeconomic conditions and changing customer priorities. Other tech giants such as Meta and Twitter have also fired thousands of workers owing to the weakening of the global economy. Thanks to the weak market in the US and Europe, India is seeing its own share of layoffs as well. Recently, cloud software giant Salesforce said it was trimming 10% of its workforce as clients were cutting back spending. Cloud has become one of the biggest drivers of Indian IT growth through the pandemic. Hence, a warning from Salesforce is a big concern. A recent research report by brokerage Motilal Oswal says that their recent conversations with the management of Tier 1 companies indicated a limited adverse impact on demand, although there will be some softness in specific verticals like mortgage, retail, telecom, and high tech, and also the Europe geography. So, ideally, what they are saying is globally they overhired people and now they can't sustain it because there is a recession going on in some parts of the world, and elsewhere a recession can potentially start anytime. So they need to cut back on spending. In India, what they say is the focus is that because spending is not enough elsewhere, that means there isn't enough demand for our services. So we need to cut, and another reason is that we need staff that is skilled on newer technologies. Also staff that is younger with less experience but more up-to-date knowledge. So affordable because less experienced, and yet more efficient and easily deployable because more up to date. However, in India, recently, Wipro, which is an IT giant, also said it has to terminate about 452 freshers on grounds of performance. Quite surprising for an Indian IT company, and that too when it comes to freshers. I was going through another report. This report is from Economic Times, and it says that TCS earnings before interest and tax, which is the EBIT margin, is at over 24% as reported in December 2022. Now, an EBIT margin of 24%, in my honest opinion, is excellent given the space they operate in and even otherwise from business perspective. Although anybody comparing this to what margins were like for these companies about a little over a decade ago, maybe not very happy, may not be very happy with this number, but those times are long gone. Likewise, Infosys reported at nearly 22%, while HCL at over 19%, Wipro at over 14%, and Tech Mahindra at over 11%. Mind you, from an investor perspective, anything above 10% is decent or at least average. It is not bad at all by any measure, especially when IT companies don't have a lot of debt or liability in their balance sheet, if any at all. Contrary to all of this, Apple is the only tech giant that still hasn't announced layoffs, and the reason is clear. Apple did not overhire. And of course, they're not bothered about the recession. Not that they're immune to it. While they are facing intense competition from Samsung in most markets, especially with the not so success of the recent iPhone and the new Samsung S series phone, the S23 launch next month, yet they are cool with their employee base somehow, as if recession won't hit them. All of this makes me want to believe that the real reason this is happening is only because companies had a work from home going on during pandemic, and they shifted from operational and efficiency drivers to strategic partners of their clients, helping them achieve a digital business model. This meant more business for these companies, and it meant more work and lesser maintenance for infrastructure because offices were shut. As a result, there was a lot of profit and there was a lot of work. They overhired, and now to maintain their margins, to sustain that growth, it's not possible in these times, and they're getting rid of what they think are the excess staff, naturally claiming recession as a reason, which nobody is sure if it will happen or not. Anyway, that is all for today on my analysis of what's going on in the tech industry. The views here are my own and do not represent that of anybody or anything else. If you have an opinion or deeper understanding of what is going on, then feel free to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Bye. Alright, guys, thank you for being a lovely and patient audience. Stay tuned, and if you like my content or excited about the next episodes, then hit that subscribe, like, follow button, whatever that is on your screen. This is Kunal Jethwani from Agile signing off. Thank you.